Just over a year into his role, the Prime Minister has brushed off thoughts of an early retirement, declaring his intention to serve until at least 2028. Ruling out an election next year, Anthony Albanese tells Sky News his ambition for a second term is to guide Australia through a period of challenge and change.
An early election off the table, Anthony Albanese confirms that if voters back him in 2025, he won't be handing over the reins mid-term.
I certainly will be going to the next election with the intention, absolutely, of fulfilling a term.
If he does, it would make him Australia's fourth oldest Prime Minister, behind only Robert Menzies, John Howard and caretaker John Blackjack McEwen.
I've just got here. I have enormous energy. Politics can change quickly, of course.
What hasn't changed is the trajectory of an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Facing defeat in this year's referendum, the Prime Minister is forced to confront a potential Plan B.
We'll continue to, of course, always do what we can to close the gap. We're meeting 4 out of 19 closing the gap targets. And if they say no, then, of course, more of the same will continue to exist.
More of the same would also mean no legislated voice, despite support from the opposition for the establishment of local and regional bodies.
Doing it through legislative means that can provide, if you like, proof of concept to the Australian people.
It's never easy winning referendums, especially if you don't have bipartisan support.
Tackling cost of living pressure remains a priority for the Albanese government, but when asked on Sky News to identify the cost of a litre of petrol, which has risen to a 13-month high, the Prime Minister missed the mark.
I don't go and fill up my car, but it was around about $1.80 last time I did.
A distant memory for most. This petrol station in Brisbane, just a 10-minute drive from where Labor held its national conference, is charging motorists $2.30 a litre for unleaded and more than $2.50 a litre for premium.
We need to continue to do what we can to put lower pressure on inflation.
This government has got to show real spending restraint.
The Prime Minister has spent more than $4 million and 370 hours on overseas flights since coming to office, and those tallies are only going up. The G20 in India, a state visit to the White House, an APEC summit in San Francisco, and an expected visit to China all lay ahead by year's end.
Which meetings that I've been to should I have not attended? We have enormous opportunities this decade to set Australia up for a really bright future.
A future which Anthony Albanese hopes will see him lead for at least 5 more years. Cameron Redden, Sky News, Canberra.